I always like to challenge myself, test my abilities, give myself challenges. And in this series, the Booking Challenge, I'm going to go through challenge by challenge and try and see what I can do with certain wrestlers, certain storylines, certain parts of the wrestling show, the card. It's going to be a good one. Basically, the main point of this series, I book something, you tell me whether it's a pass or a fail in the comments. So you watch the video through, you let me know whether it's a pass or a fail. I'll move on to the next challenge. So hopefully you guys let me know I passed this one. So Austin Theory, he defeated John Cena at WrestleMania, and really WWE, it's very clear they're very high on this guy. They want this guy to be the next big star. There's been a lot of questions raised with this guy, whether he actually has the it factor, because he obviously has the physique, the aesthetic, but there's a lot of kind of things missing. His promos get questioned quite a bit, his charisma gets questioned quite a bit, his in-ring, all this sort of stuff. There's a lot of questions with this guy, and that's what brings us here today. So I'm going to do my best to make Theory a compelling main eventer. Enough talking, let's get into it. So as soon as I started trying to do this, it became abundantly clear that no guy this version of Theory beats is going to make him compelling. So in other words, he beat John Cena at WrestleMania. Cena's one of the greatest of all time. That didn't really do that much for Theory at all. Some would say it did nothing for him. So with that being said, Theory needs something to make him compelling, something to make him interesting. And I did some thinking, how can we do that? Because Austin Theory is hardly a guy, once again, you can't just have him beat Roman Reigns, beat these guys, that's not going to do it. He needs a character arc, he needs something. So, I thought about the Baron Corbin route a little bit, with the happy Corbin thing, the sad Corbin, that sort of thing. I took a little inspiration from that, but I'll park that there. Let's just get into this. So, firstly, let's get the US Championship off of Austin Theory. At this point, he's just carrying it around for the sake of having it. I figure the best way to do this, have Theory once again pick a fight with Montez Ford backstage on Raw, just like they did a few weeks before WrestleMania, only this time it comes back to bite Theory in the ass. Montez Ford goes off, he has this big superstar making performance, he owns Austin Theory, hits 2 insane frog splashes, and pins Theory to win the US title. So, what this does, from here you have Montez Ford as the US champion, and right away, this makes Montez Ford a compelling solo guy potentially. The Street Profits are still intact, but this is where you can start to begin to build tension, build friction between the Street Profits. Angelo Dawkins, at first he's all hype, he's all happy for Montez, but slowly you can see the jealousy creep in, you can see the not resentment, but a bit of animosity creep into the Street Profits. So keep that in mind. We'll come back to that. Now, back to Austin Theory. After Theory loses the US title, he has a losing streak. Now, these losses, how I do this, it's structured, it's planned. Theory, at the start, loses to a big star. And in this case, that's Seth Rollins. So he loses the US title. He has a sulk, a complaint to Adam Pearce backstage, and Adam Pearce goes, okay, Theory, deal with it. Go and wrestle Seth Rollins. Go beat Seth Rollins. He fails miserably, Seth Rollins wins clean. Then, the next week, same thing on Raw. Austin Theory complains to Adam Pearce, what the hell, oh my god, this is so unfair, this sucks, blah blah blah. Adam Pearce puts him in a match against Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker wins clean. Week after that, same thing. This time, Riddle. Week after that, same thing. This time, insert wrestler here. And basically, you're going down the sort of ladder in WWE. So Theory starts, he loses the US title to Ford. He starts at the top. Seth Rollins, as far as Monday Night Raw sort of guys, I'm not going to have Cody face him. I'm just going to have just general guys. But yeah, Seth Rollins is kind of like the top rung in this situation. Then a big upcoming bright prospect like Bron Breakker, who would have debuted on Raw. Then Riddle, and then you go down the rungs. You get eventually a couple of mid-carders. Eventually, this goes for about 6 to 8 weeks. It's Theory getting his karma. The audience would love this, seeing Theory go down in a blaze of glory. Theory's just losing match after match. He can't win. He's losing all his momentum. He's getting a bunch of different wrestlers over. By doing this, this would be a much needed win for a lot of these guys, Riddle and the mid-carders, and it'd be a big win for Bron Breakker. you get the picture. The tipping point comes when Adam Pearce puts Theory in a match with Mace. Yes, Mace from Retribution, this guy. At this point, it's becoming a running gag on Raw. Commentary is making a big thing of this. Theory can't win a match. He can't. Theory goes into the match against Mace. The whole thing is no way he's gonna lose. It's Mace. Like, literally, bury Mace during this. Mace sucks. Mace has not won a match in 15 months. Build it up that way. Well, this match, Mace does win. Mace defeats Austin Theory. Afterwards, we see Theory in the ring. He's sitting there like John Cena at the end of WrestleMania 28. Theory's just like what's happened? Like, what is this? Like, what's going on? From there, we don't see Theory for a number of weeks. Okay, so Theory's had this big 2-month losing streak. He's been on this big high from WrestleMania. We've seen him go down, lose the US title. He's lost to Rollins, Breaker, Riddle, and you just go further and further down the echelons of current day wrestlers, and he's his rock bottom. He's lost to Mace. So from here, I'd leaks to the dirt sheets that Theory has real life backstage heat with WWE about his position, his role. He's considering leaving. You drop a few leaks to the dirt sheets, get them talking, get them creating some buzz. The online wrestling community loves whenever a wrestler wants to potentially leave and go elsewhere, stick it to Vince McMahon, all this sort of thing. So I'll do that. That's just a sort of side thing I'm doing here. Then on Raw one week, this would be around, I don't know, July, August, SummerSlam time this year, we see leaked footage of Theory in a gym by himself. And he just looks, well, depressed, basically. That's the best way of putting it. He's down, he's sad, he's moping around, he's seriously down. That's the whole purpose of this. And make this as authentic as possible. Have this be like a hidden camera thing. Have this be CCTV. Don't have this just be a WWE cameraman in the face of Theory and he's supposed to try and act sad. That's not what this is, alright? The main purpose is that all the arrogance, all the A-Town down, all of that is gone. The win over Cena at WrestleMania feels like a lifetime ago. That feels like a different version of him. It's quite literally... that was everything to him then. Now he's lost every bit of his mojo. Theory is just an absolute mess. He's a shell of himself. The next week, I do a similar sort of segment and vignette at the gym. Theory's working out again, and Angelo Dawkins comes over. By this point, Montez Ford's been US champion for like 3-4 months. Dawkins, he kind of confronts Theory. He shows some heel tendencies. He makes fun of Theory for falling off, being a joke, being a disgrace. Theory just doesn't react. He's apathetic. He's all the life is drained from this guy. He's like empty. That's the whole purpose of this. Angelo Dawkins is coming off like a dickhead, and Theory's coming off as the likable one in this segment. So from here, then I'd have a woman nearby step in and stick up for Theory. Leave him alone. Can't you see he's in the pits? All this sort of thing. So this woman, this random, sticks up for Theory. Dawkins leaves. And we see a glimmer of sort of hope, a bit glimmer of life in Theory's face. Maybe life isn't pointless after all for Theory. This woman could be would be one of the current NXT female talents. I don't know exactly who. It doesn't really matter with this. For the sake of the video, whoever in the NXT women's division can best portray a really kind of empathetic, caring, like sort of feminine female role, whoever can do that best, would be perfect for this, in this role. For the sake of the video, let's just call this person Kira. This female wrestler, Kira. I don't know, could be any woman, but let's just codename Kira, okay? Look, so Kira says to Theory, I'm Kira, before leaving. For the next few weeks, the Theory segment becomes one of the most must-see segments on Raw. The presentation of these would be sort of either CCTV camera style, as I said, or hidden camera kind of style. Make it feel as authentic as possible. This is the big one. Make the audience, and if you present this even half well, this would be quite easy. Make the audience feel genuinely a bit, bad for Theory. See that he's sucking. His life lacks any direction right now. He's lost. All he has are some muscles. He has nothing else. He's hit his rock bottom. Have that really be the big storyline that plays out. And knowing WWE and what we've seen in the past, say, 5 years, the Otis Mandy Rose storyline, that was a little bit similar. In early 2020, that was a smash hit. The Baron Corbin, down bad Corbin thing was a smash hit in 2021. This would play on that, but be a bit more sort of emotional. You get the relationship sort of romance storyline involved. So yeah, this romance with Theory and Kira, it builds nicely. She's so supportive of Theory. She wants the best for Austin Theory. Theory is saying that she's the only person who's ever really liked him for what's on the inside as opposed to what's on the outside with the muscles and the big performance. That's what he was to Vince McMahon and all the others. But this Kira woman sees him for more than that. So Theory opens up a couple of times about being seen as a creator wrestler, wannabe, just a bodybuilder with no substance, all this sort of thing. This is like raw, honest Austin Theory. This is Austin Theory in his most authentic form. And that's what Austin Theory needs most. He doesn't need more A-Town down, I'm gonna beat you on Raw. He doesn't need that. We need authenticity with this guy. That's the missing piece in many cases. So yeah, that's the main thing. Now, I have them do a couple of dates. Once again, not super cringe or scripted. Make these feel authentic. Theory and Kira, they're seen on a couple of dates. They may do one like walking along a boardwalk. They go to the beach. They're, out at an eatery, at a diner, a restaurant. Maybe go to the movie. I don't know. Have this going for like 4 to 6 weeks. This would be, if they present this well, the most compelling thing on Raw. You can see Theory starting to get some of his mojo back. He's, thanking the waiter. He's cracking a couple jokes. He's, he helps to lift something super heavy when someone's like an elderly couple's in distress, down the road. This sort of thing. So it's a feel-good thing. We're seeing Theory find himself again. He's hit his rock bottom a couple times, and because of this girl Kira, he's actually showing some life. So this happens. They do the big moment where Thera. Yeah, that's what they call them. Theory and Kira kiss for the first time. It's like a big, oh my god, like feel-good moment on Raw. By this point in like September, October, this is probably the best thing going on Raw. Like, let's be real. From here, I do a big build-up to Theory's first match back, which this one would come against Mace. Alright, I'd essentially do this. I mentioned the ladder before. Theory started at the top with Rollins, then Bron Breakker, then Riddle. He's going down the rungs. He hit the bottom with Mace. What I do here, I'd have Theory ascend the ladder again. Now that he's found himself, he's hit his rock bottom, his life's being turned around by the admiration of this woman, Kira. He's about to go up the ladder. So Theory starts this off. His first match is against Mace. For this match, and just generally, Theory would have a new theme song. He'd have a different presentation. He'd have some kind of gold, black, and red gear. He doesn't cheat in his matches anymore. The crowd would be behind Theory. If this is how he was presented, the crowd would, by and large, like him. Some people would still be like, oh, he sucks. That's just going to happen anyway. But by and large, the crowd would be so much more supportive of this than they would for whatever the hell they're doing now. So, Theory beats Mace clean. And afterwards, Kira hugs him. As I said, a genuine admiration hug. The I think you're fantastic hug. Not a going through the motions hugging because that's my job hug. This is a genuine admiration for Theory. From here, Theory would wrestle the gauntlet of opponents that caused his downfall in reverse order. So he starts with Mace, then he wrestles whoever's next, Humberto Carrillo, I don't know. He goes slowly up from jobber to mid-card wrestlers, and then he eventually gets to the upper mid-card main event wrestlers. This whole time, Kira's support, you're amazing, Austin, I believe in you, the fans believe, and a big part of this act is her. The crowd loves her. The crowd loves Theory. They're really getting behind this act. After around 6 to 8 weeks, the gauntlet is nearing its end. Austin Theory is now wrestling some big-time stars. These matches, main event Raw, week to week, is one of the most compelling things going on at this stage in WWE. So, this leads to Theory versus Bron Breakker, the penultimate rung of the Theory gauntlet. Keep in mind, by this stage, Bron Breakker hasn't lost a match yet on Raw, and he's on an absolute tear. Fans aren't that into Bron Breakker at this stage because he's being pushed as Theory, as 2015 Roman Reigns. He's like the guy you're supposed to really like. He's just squashing everyone. So Bron Breakker, he's getting wins, but he's not the most popular. This match goes like 20 minutes. Pretty damn good match. The ending sees Bron Breakker accidentally spear Kira. This is like a shocking TMZ viral moment. Clips of this go all over social media. Theory absolutely goes ballistic. He goes AWOL when this happens. The crowd erupts. They're going nuts. Theory unleashes on Bron Breakker. Ultimately gets the win over Bron Breakker, which is like a massive moment. If this is portrayed well enough, this would be huge. So there's that. Have Kira be hospitalized from this. Do 1 or 2 weeks of segments. Kira's on a ventilator. She's in the hospital. You got doctors checking on her. Oh my god, are you okay? Theory. He brings like flowers and stuff. He brings chocolates. He's crying at the hospital bed at 3 a.m. in the morning. Or do this sort of stuff. This is a great way. This is a way to get the audience to connect to a character. You know, feel the way Theory feel. All this. This is how you get one of these wrestlers over like this. This is how you do it. So, I'd have Seth Rollins play the final boss in this like redemption gauntlet for Theory. I'd have Rollins being like the ultimate asshole here. We'd have a segment in the build to this like final gauntlet match between Rollins and Theory. Have a segment where Seth Rollins is literally re-watching Bron Breakker spear Kira over and over on the Titantron. Rollins is laughing. He cuts a really douchebaggy promo just with his over-the-top laugh. The audience is like, F this guy, dude. You can't seriously be watching a video of Bron Breakker injuring this female talent who we all love. Like, just F you, Rollins. I want to see Theory beat you. Like, get Theory kick his ass like that. That's what you'd be feeling. Have it be like, you know, no sane person could cheer for Rollins here. Everyone's behind Theory. So, this would be the biggest Raw main event of 2023 and easily the biggest WWE TV match in December and most of the year. Before leaving hospital to head to the arena for the main event, Kira tells Theory for the first time that she loves him. This feel-good moment supercharges Theory with momentum as he takes on one of WWE's biggest stars of the last decade, and the man who really began his downfall 8 months prior. So, Theory vs Seth Rollins is one of the very best matches of Theory's career, one of the best matches of 2023, no commercials, an absolute classic. Finally, Theory beats Seth Rollins clean to win the match. A feel-good moment, the crowd's cheering, you know, it's one of the great sort of feel-good moments in wrestling. So there. From that win on, Theory would be a made up, definitely top of echelon of upper mid-card to main event guy, I'd reckon. One of the most over acts in the company he would be. From the perspective of crowd engagement, crowd interaction, if you make some good merchandise merchandise as well. Where they go with the story is up to them, and you as the viewer, you can fantasy book the rest of this yourself. I'll leave this open-ended. When, if any time, does Kira turn on Theory? Does she cost Theory a big title match and align herself with someone else? Does Theory break Kira's heart and become the most hated man in wrestling? So many avenues to go, and that's where I'll call the video. So, yeah, that's how I take Theory from a guy who has had both Vince McMahon take him under his wing and defeat Cena at WrestleMania just to be in the same spot he was initially, to a guy who would be one of the most over compelling acts in the entire company and a legitimate main eventer. So that's been the video. Did I, Jimmy, JTE, pass the booking challenge? Let me know. Comment pass, comment fail if you think I failed. What would you do with Theory? This is my best shot, so yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, sub, he's on the drill.